Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States. That's midday if you're in Australia or 1 or 2 AM if you're in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are doing well. Remember guys, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel or going to my YouTube channel, which is /PhilDoes3D. I upload all of my previous streams to Twitch and to YouTube. Make it 3D, don't believe him, it's all the trick he says. It's good to see you make it 3D. Remember too, if you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, like Make It 3D did yesterday, you can click the link you'll find in the About Me section on my Twitch channel. Or if you're watching me back on YouTube, if you look in the description below the video you're watching, you'll find a link to my Twitch channel there, and then just go to the About Me section and click the blue graphic that says Join the Phil Does 3D Discord. That will give you an invite link. You can also go into Twitch chat at any time and type !Discord. That will also give you an invite link to join the Discord server. The Discord is where you guys can post links to your portfolio or your art station. There's a gallery section where you can show off your work, because I love looking at the stuff you guys are making. Portfolio section, tutorials and tips section. It's worth joining the Discord. There's a really helpful group of guys and girls there. So if you ever get stuck doing your 3D work, you can ask a question on the Discord and somebody will help you out, I'm sure. If not me. We're going to continue working on a game called The House in the Hollow. You can wishlist that now on Steam. Again, go to the About Me section on my Twitch channel and look in the graphics, or if you're watching on YouTube, look in the description and you'll find a link to the Steam store page there. Okay, so we're going to continue working on this Art Nouveau entryway. We're bringing this into the game, so we have to optimize it for the game, and that's what we're doing. So the original over here and the optimized version is over here. We're nearly done with this. Well, with this part of it, we still have to do a walkway between the two, but what we're going to end up doing is we're instancing like things like the column, these pieces for either side, the door, the statue. So we're bringing it in sections when we bring it into Unreal, and we're going to instance different meshes for performance and optimization. As always, guys, if you have any questions while I work, feel free to jump into chat and ask me. If you just want to say hello, like Make It 3D, it's always welcome, but if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. I'm just going to grab a drink. Okay, so what have we got left to do? We have the bottom curve section here, and we have this detail work left. And that's it, I think. Apart from that, everything else is pretty much done. So what will we work on next? Will we do that or will we do this? Let's see if we have problems doing this like we had problems doing this yesterday. Make It 3D says, I'm just here for the beer. Do you validate parking for this seminar? Well, I have no beer and I can't validate your parking, I'm sorry. I guess we'll tackle this. Let's see if we have problems optimizing this like we did with this. It took us nearly 2 hours to do this piece up here yesterday. Anyway, let us start by, I guess we'll duplicate this piece of mesh. I'm just going to, I'm just going to center the pivot on this. Just makes it easier for me to work with, and we're going to duplicate it. If you're using Macs, just hold the shift key down and move it to duplicate it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is, we'll tackle it the same way we tackled this piece yesterday. We're going to break the mesh up, send it to Ryzen, bring it back, and we'll go from there. So we want this bit detached. Hopefully we won't have as many problems today because we've got the workflow worked out from yesterday. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it one more time. And let's send this piece over to Ryzen. Is a new? Yes, that's a new. Okay. And we're going to use this one. And we might straighten these sections here out. I don't know about these ones though. We're getting a little stretching happening. You can see that by the indicated by the slight red color. And the blue is squishing, I believe. But I don't think it'll be too bad. It's just a pale red, so it should be okay. And let's just get it to do a pack. Oh, no, let's undo that. Let's use this pack down here. In fact, we might use Max's pack. Let's send it back to Max. This one we're not going to send to Ryzen. Hey Hellforge, it's good to see you, buddy. Thank you. There's the Discord link. Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat if you do want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord. If you want to wishlist the game, click that link. Hellforge has popped into Twitch chat to take you to the Steam store page for the game you see me working on an asset for here. Or if you want to know more about me and what I do, you can go to my website, which is phildoes3d with a .com on the end of it, or click the link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat. It's good to see you. Good morning to you too, Hellforge. It's very early for Hellforge because he's in Europe, so it's like 2 a.m. in the morning or something. Make it 3D says beer. I tried. Save and coffee. Well, I'll have the coffee, but we've only just started working, so I won't do a save just yet. I'll live dangerously. Yeah, 2 a.m. I thought, yeah, 2 a.m. for Hellforge, so very, very, very early for him, or very late, however you want to think about it. And remember, guys, today is the last stream for 2021. After today, I'm on holidays until January 24. And so Phil's brain's half checked out already, so just giving you fair warning. We're going to throw an unwrap UVW down on this. We're going to change it to map channel 2, and we're going to move the UVs. We are also going to get Max to do a repack. Okay. Same with this one. We're going to throw an unwrap UVW down, change to map channel 2 and move the UVs, and get Max to do a repack. Now Max's repacker is sometimes really not great. You can see what it's done here. It hasn't really done a great job at repacking. We will probably tackle that in a minute, but what we're going to do in the meantime is I just like to turn these map themes off. I don't like the green lines, they annoy me. We are going to copy that unwrap UVW to this piece. We're just going to double check that it's copied over. Yep, good. And we're going to copy this unwrap to this piece. Double check. Good. Okay, now we're going to reattach both of these pieces together. Make it 3D says, holidays slacker. I'm secretly envious. Euro's already on holiday. He went on holiday like a week or two ago. I'm really envious of him. So yeah, well, I need the break. I'm exhausted. I've been working, I work for an ArchBiz studio and a game studio, so I'm pretty tired. I need the break. And I haven't seen my brother and sister for 2 years because of the human malware thing. All the borders in Australia have been shut. So, and my brother lives interstate and my sister lives interstate in 2 different states. So I'm looking forward to seeing them. It's been a while. Them and their kids, because their kids are good value as well. Make It 3D says, you've never had a vacation? No. Is that for real? How do you not ever have a vacation? I don't know how you do it. Never. He says never. Wow, that's terrible. You need to take a break, dude. Regardless of what your job is, you just need time away from work. I don't know your circumstances. Maybe you can't, but it's important to take a break. It really is. And so that's terrible. Make It 3D. You need to have a holiday. Even if you don't go away, you just need a break from work. Sniper Girl, hey Sniper Girl, it's good to see you. For our last stream of 2021, so I'm glad you popped in. Alford says, finally got the model I've been working on in Maya to the test bake stage. So now I have to sit the whole day tomorrow refining the UVs and bake everything again. And we all know how much we all love doing UV mapping. Well, I'm glad you finally got the model ready for the bake stage. That's progress, so that's good. Make It 3D says it's not so bad. I'm doing 3D now, so every day is a vacation. Well, there you go. I love 3D as well. And look, even though I'm complaining a little bit about being overworked, that was my choice. I chose to work for the game studio as well as the Ultra studio. So because I love what I do, I love 3D as well. I have been doing 3D for a long time and I can't imagine doing anything else. So I get where you're coming from, but it's still important to take a break, particularly if you're doing any sort of 3D design, art sort of thing. I've said to you guys before, being creative on demand is difficult. It's really hard. And it takes a lot out of you. So yeah, I couldn't do it without a break. I need that time to recharge, to get stuck back into it again. Not that I hate doing what I do, because like I said, I love it as well. But it's just physically exhausting, mentally exhausting. I mean to say, not physically, mentally exhausting. Anyway, let's see if we can't do something here. So let's reattach, let's collapse the stack and attach that piece to that piece. And now we're going to throw an unwrap UVW down. We're going to go to map channel 2 and we're going to abandon or move. I can never remember. Now we want to abandon because it should already have our UVs. Yep, good. So now all we should have to do is to get Max to do a repack. We won't use the button, we'll use this one over here because we have a bit more control. We can get it to fill holes, rotate clusters. I don't want it to do a rescale though. And that's done a much better pack for us. Or do I want it to do a no? Yes, no. Let's try doing a bake out here. If it doesn't work the way we want, then we can look at it again. So now we can do a bake to texture. Now the reason I'm doing this is because when this model was created, it was never created to be a game ready model. So it uses a lot of different, I think it's 18 different textures or something, which is way too many draw calls for a game model. So, and some of these pieces use multiple textures. So we want to sort of like, we're doing a bake out so we can reduce it all down to one texture per piece. So that's the reason we're doing what we're doing, just in case you were wondering. A Helpwood says it's pretty frustrating when the software keeps crashing while doing UV, as it really snaps you out of the brain screensaver mode. Yeah, well, you saw the problems I was having getting UVs done yesterday. That's the joys of being a 3D person, I guess. There's always a problem you got to overcome or solve. So nothing's ever as simple as you think it's going to be. I guess it's like that in life, isn't it? No matter what your job is or whatever it is, nothing's ever as simple as you think it will be. Why does everything have to be so hard? You know, the number of times I say that, you have no idea. Why does everything have to be so hard? That's life. And that's 3D. Something else says, wow, I skipped your message. What message? What? Let me go through it. Hang on. Oh, okay. Sorry, Snowy Girl. She says, speaking of time from work, isn't this technically your last stream of the month? Yes, it is. Today is my last stream for 2021, so you could say it's the last stream of the year. I'm back on the 24th of January after today. So I'm having a nice break, going to see my brother and sister for Christmas. So sorry, Sniper Girl, I missed your message. Smurfberry, hey Smurf, it's good to see you, says Joyce. Make It 3D says, no, you skipped Sniper Girl. Yeah, I know I did. Terrible. Bad Phil. Bad Phil. You know how easy it is to rattle my brain, Sniper Girl. I'm an old man. Come on. Smurf says, blah. When Sniper Girl asked how he was doing, Hellforge says, just chat. No, it's not just chat. We're doing work. Come on, I jumped straight into it this morning. Sniper Girl says, so no, just chat? No, it's not just chat. It's not today. When I come back, actually, I looked at my schedule. The first day I'm back on the Monday is a normal 3D stream, but the second day I'm back on the Tuesday is a just chat stream. So we can all talk about what we did over Christmas then. What movies we saw, TV series we saw, all that sort of jazz. But not today. Although we could do a Just Chat stream if you guys wanted. Sniper Girl says to Hellforge was exactly why I asked. Mod slap. You gave me a mod slap, man. Sniper Girl says, but last stream of the month is just chat. Oh yeah, but when I say the last stream of the month, that's usually the last one at the end of the month. Like on a normal month, not a month when I'm going on break. We can do a just chat, guys, if you want. You know how much I like to talk. It's never a problem for me. Sniper Girl says I'm fine either way. Well, look, I'm fine either way as well. What about if we do like chatting and working and chatting like I normally do anyway? Hellwood says, I mean, you slapped yourself, so I figured it was open season. Well, fair enough. That's why you don't get one back. You get one free one a month. Make It 3D says you're not getting shit done, old man. Thank you very much. Hellwood says dope. We can do some chatting. I can do some work. You know, the usual. Let's remove that and add that. And we're going to call this one Nouveau, Nouveau, bottom border. And the path is correct and map channel 2 is correct. Smith says, oof, Sniper Girl says to make it 3D, you're as bad as I am. This person should become a mod. Oh man, I get so much grief from you guys. Particularly you, Sniper Girl, and particularly now you, Make It 3D. Let's bake out this map. I may. Let's see how it goes. It looks like I might need to make a bit of a change to the UVs. Max has not. You better not have crashed. No, there we go. Hang on, cancel. There we go. I was a bit excited trying to close it before Max had finished rendering it out. Okay, let's duplicate this in case I need to go back. And let's add that map we just baked out. So Nouveau bottom border, I believe it's this one. Yep. Let's assign that material. And let's change our channel info. No, not that one. That one. And copy and paste. No, that's fine. I was worried that this might not have been high res enough, but it's fine. We're not getting that blurring we were getting. It looks the same as the original. So we're good. There we go. This one didn't take as long as the other one did yesterday. We got this one done in, what, 10 minutes. Make It 3D says it's a gift. Sniper Girl says, well, but you're a masochist. Why else would you mod me? Well, that's true. Make It 3D says, besides, I'm often called old man, so I'm qualified to give you shit. Okay, fair enough. Although, I don't know if you'd be as old as I am. No one's as old as I am, are they, Sniper Girl? I was around at the time with Noah. We were besties. Sniper Girl says, what did you guys think of the Netflix Daredevil series? I have not watched it. They made a Daredevil series? I wasn't aware of it either. Jizan! Hey Jizan, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Always good to see you, Jizan. Yeah, I wasn't aware that they made a Daredevil series on Netflix. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it while I've been looking through Netflix, so maybe I just haven't looked hard enough. Make It 3D, Make It 3D. Says 5 out of 10, average with too much typical Hollywood. Hello to you too, Jizar. Healthwood says 5 minutes plus some chatting. That's right, we're sort of like doing a combination work and just chat stream today. Because Sniper Girl said the last stream of the month, which is today, because today is the last stream of the year for me before I go on break for my holidays, Christmas, New Year. The last stream is generally a just chat stream, but I got confused because generally the just chat stream is the last stream for the month, so it's usually right at the end of the month. But because this is a short month, because I'm going on break, technically she's not incorrect. She is technically correct. So I thought we'd mix it up. We'll do a bit of both. Sniper Girl says, yeah, a while ago had Charlie Cox as Daredevil and he was amazing in my opinion. Yeah, I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen the graphic for it in Netflix. I'll have to look for it though. Make It 3D says 52. Oh no, you're older than me then. You are older than me. Sniper Girl says only reason for asking is because they officially announced him in the MCU. What's the MCU? What's the MCU? Helpwood says, hey Phil, drew the blueprints for the Ark Noah cruised around in. Oh, you got your free one, now you're getting a slap back. That's for you, Hellforge. Slap. I drew the blueprints for the Ark Noah cruised around in. Wow. Sniper Girl says you got to watch it. It's good. I'll look for it on Netflix. Yep, definitely while I'm on break. There's a lot of stuff I want to watch while I'm on holiday, and I just want to be a couch potato and do nothing. I told you guys I'm going to see my brother and sister for the Christmas period, but when I'll be back in Melbourne by New Year, and I'm not going out New Year's Eve. I'm staying at home. I'll watch the fireworks on TV and probably have an early night. So I'll have plenty of time while I'm on break to catch up on all these TV shows I've missed out on. So I'll check it out then. So Daredevil, I will have a look for it. Make It 3D says, must be why it crashed. Jizan says, I'm upset. Birthday is on Thursday. A freaking Thursday. Oh, what's wrong with Thursdays? Did you want it to be on a Friday or a Monday so you could take a long weekend? Sniper Girl says to Juzan, how are you? Sad, Juzan says. Sniper Girl says, why not celebrate it on Friday and have a 3-day weekend? That's right. I agree. That sounds like good logic in my opinion, Sniper Girl. Hellboy says, my birthday is on a Monday. But you know it changes every year, don't you guys? Your birthday is never on the same day. Like it's on the same date, but not the same day. Hellwood says Marvel Cinematic Universe. Thank you, MCU. I wasn't sure what that stood for. Marvel Cinematic Universe. Okay. Make It 3D says, what's the MCU? Are you sure you're not older than me? Oh, look, I know. Come on. I've never really been big on the whole superhero movie thing. I like watching them occasionally, but I don't watch every Superman movie, every Batman movie. I'm not that big into the Marvel universe. I'm not saying I don't enjoy it when I do watch them, like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff. They were good good movies, and I have seen some good stuff, but yeah, I don't watch everyone. I don't watch the Spider-Man movies either, generally. Halford says, thank you for being slapped. You're quite welcome. You earned it. You did earn it. Halford says, to be honest, I barely know what MCU is because I really don't care about superhero stuff in general. Yeah, I'm pretty much like that too. I'm not saying I don't enjoy them when I watch them, but I'm just saying I don't go out of my way to watch them. It's superheroed out. There have been so many superhero movies, guys. I mean, over the last 5 years, how many superhero movies have they made? And then there's a spin-off TV shows, and oh man, it's too much. It's just too much. You're fired, Phil. Make it 3D says. Snappy Girl says, yep, and you know there's a special thing called a calendar that allows you to see what day your birthday will be on next year, right? Oh, you're this close to a Phil slap as well. Juzan says, Merry Happy New Christmas Year to everyone. Yes, Merry Happy New Christmas Year to everyone. Again, I'll keep saying it just to remind you guys, today is my last stream for 2021, but I am back on the 24th of January next year. I'm having a bit of a longer break this year than I normally do, so I can catch up with my brother and my sister, and so I can have a good break because I've been working for these 2 studios and they've exhausted me. So yeah, normally I don't have a break for that period of time because that ends up being about 6 weeks, I think. Normally I take about 3 to 4 weeks, but this year I thought, no, after everything the world has been through, I don't know about you guys, but this human malware thing has just been a nightmare. I mean, this is coming from someone like me who's used to working from home. Like you guys know, I only go into the studio a couple of days a week. Most of my time I spend working at home. So I was used to it long before the pandemic happened. But even for me, it's been really hard. I mean, these constant lockdowns that we've had, the fact that we couldn't fly anywhere, and I couldn't see my brother and sister interstate, and it's just been major difficult. It's been really difficult. So yeah, I thought this year, because of all of that, I wanted to, I don't know what the word really is, but I needed to take a bit more time so I could see the people I hadn't been able to see, and I could relax properly, and yeah. Hopefully you guys won't forget about me in 6 weeks. I will be posting on my, remember, I'm back on the 24th of January, but I'll post on my Twitter account at PhilDoes3D and also in the Discord when I'm back. And also, I will be popping in and out of the Discord while I'm on holiday in the new year. I probably won't be up until Christmas because I'll be flying interstate. But in the new year, like after the 1st of January, I'll pop in and out of Discord occasionally. So I will be around. If you want to talk to me or need to talk to me or have a question or something, then I'll be jumping in and out of Discord. I just won't be streaming until the 24th. Healthwood says too many. Make It 3D says secretly I don't give 2 shits about these movies either. Happy Girl says there's only 26 movies in the MCU currently. That's only 26 movies. Oh wow, only 26. Well, there you go. That goes to show you just how much they're milking that whole thing for, the superhero thing for. And what about the sci-fi? What about the the TV show spin-offs like Supergirl and all the rest of them? It's just too much. It's too much. It's a typical Hollywood. When you're on a good thing, milk it for all it's worth. Hellboard says, I just want some awesome sci-fi movies and shows, especially now that The Expanse is ending with this season that starts on the 10th. Oh, it's the 10th. Oh, cool. Yes, I'm looking forward to The Expanse. I'm looking forward to The Witcher 2 Series 2, which is due to be released just before Christmas, I think, or just after Christmas. Soon. In a few weeks, anyway. So those two I am definitely looking forward to. I've started watching the new season of Discovery, Star Trek Discovery. And I like it. Like, the effects are really nicely done in that series. But it's a bit preachy, though. I mean, I'm all for being woke and stuff, but it's a bit preachy, that show. I have to admit, it is a bit preachy. But I guess the original Star Treks are a bit preachy as well. So. So yeah, the Star Trek Discovery is worth watching as well. It does get a bit grating, but yeah, it is good. So I'm with you, Helpwood. It's more sci-fi and more horror too, because I like horror movies as well. Helpwood says decompress from reality. Yeah, that's right. Because reality has just been too depressing for the last 2 years because of the human malware. I mean, I don't know, but I watch the news because, you know, I'm old. So I like to watch the news channels quite a lot. And every day, so many people catching the human malware, so many people dying from the human malware. You hear that day after day after day. It really, really brings you down, you know? Could you imagine, I don't know what the total count is now for people who have died from the human malware, but it's a lot of people. I mean, it's not as bad as that flu epidemic they had in the 1900s where it killed like 50 million people, but millions upon millions of people have been killed through the human malware. So you think of all those families of all those people that have passed away, and it's just terrible. It is terrible. And yeah, so when you're constantly being bombarded with that sort of news, it brings you down, makes you depressed. Helpwood says, I'll be here when you get back. Who else will remind you to save and copy? That's actually a very good point. Let's do a save and I'll have a copy. That's true. Who else? Well, no, yeah, I need you to remind me to save and to have a copy. You know I do. Otherwise I forget. Smurf says, Supergirl is DCU. Okay, no. I'm sorry. So is Superman also DCU, I guess? Sniper Girl says Supergirl is DC, not Marvel. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I don't keep up with all the different universes. Android Lust, hey Android Lust, sorry it's taking me a while to catch up with the chat. Hey, it's good to see you, Android Lust. Thank you for joining us for our last stream of 2021. And we've decided we're going to make it like a bit of a work stream and a bit of a Just Chat stream. Because we can. Because why not? Smurf says, I no longer have the appetite for TV shows. No, that's a bit sad. There's some really good TV shows, Smurf. Helpwood says, hey to Android Dust, so to Sniper Girl. Sniper Girl says to Smurf, the same, I don't watch TV. Well, I don't watch a lot of it, but I will be over my break because I want to be a couch potato and do nothing. Although having said that, you know, I guarantee there'll be some sort of work stuff I'll work on. Probably the game stuff more than the ArchViz stuff. But yeah, I say no work, but I can't help myself sometimes. I mean, I don't know what I'd do with myself if I wasn't doing 3D. I'd just wander around in a daze if I wasn't doing 3D. Helpwood says, I'm all for being woke, Phil 2021. That's right. And Star Trek Discovery is very, very woke. Very woke. Smurf says, I've seen most of the MCU movies though. Sniper Girl says, I've seen all the movies with the exception of Eternals. Every version of Eternals that came out, TV series or comics, just not that interesting to me. Helpwood says, yeah, I like the aesthetic of Star Trek Discovery, but it does get a bit long in the tooth sometimes, yeah. Again, beautifully done special effects in Star Trek Discovery. They're really nicely done. And the aesthetics, like you said, the design is nice. It's really, really interesting, really nice. Like the ships, the interiors, all of it's really nicely done, nicely designed, and the effects are nicely produced. It's just the stories, they get so preachy, and incredibly woke, which is not a bad thing, but yeah, incredibly woke. Helpwood so it says, and also UVs. Make it 3D, says the Sniper Girl. It's been mostly a chat stream because he's a slacker. Oh, come on. I'll do some work in a sec. She's agreeing with Make It 3D. Android Nut says, I like slacking. Yeah, well, I do too. Come on. It's my last day before I go on break. I told you my brain's already checked out. So you want me to work? Helpwood says, if you have to do 3D, you could work on your portfolio. Well, yeah, that's true. I don't have to do 3D, but I'm just saying if I don't do 3D while I'm on holiday, I probably don't know what I would do with myself. I mean, there's only so much television I can watch. But I won't be doing archivist work. If I do any work, it'll be game-related stuff. Probably. But I do have to update my ArtStation. I haven't done that in a while. I haven't made a new model for sale on my websites either for quite a while. I really should do that too. I just haven't had the time. ArtStation, yes, thank you. There's my ArtStation link if you want to check out some of my artwork. But that ArtStation, I haven't updated it for a while, so it's older work. Helpwood says more cobwebs than in the attic. Yes, I know, my poor ArtStation. Snappy Girl says to Helpwood, he's going to do a basement and you know how he gets. Well, once we've done this, we're going to be jumping back into the second landscape where the building is, because the last room we have left to do in the building now is the basement or the wine cellar. We have rooms beyond that as well, which we'll tackle, but as far as we'll say as far as the building goes, the basement is the last room. And you better believe there's going to be cobwebs in there, because you guys know how much I love putting cobwebs everywhere. So you've got to restrain me when we get down to the basement. Otherwise, I'll just fill it with cobwebs. Snappy Girl says, sorry, Make It 3D says slacker. Shop, yes, there's my, if you do want to purchase one of my 3D models, you can click that link. Helpwood just popped into Twitch chat. Now, again, I'm just pointing out here with the channel info, we have two channels. Channel 1 is the texture channel. Channel 2 is a duplicate as far as the UVs go, which I would normally remove, but I'm leaving it there because when we bring it into Unreal, we can use channel 2 as the light map channel. So Unreal can automatically unwrap the light map channel for you, but generally you'll get a better result if you do it by hand anyway. So, and we'll just reuse the UVs we're using on UV channel 1 for our light map channel and channel 2. Okay, so we've baked it out. The resolution is fine. So let's move it over to this side. Cool. And we're just going to be duplicating these for the pieces on the opposite side over here. The same with the column. We'll be duplicating those to reproduce this in Unreal from these pieces. So I think the last thing we have left to do after I do a save is the detailing. So the detailing is this stuff here. And this is too high a poly to use as I mean, you probably could, but well, I think what we'll do is we'll reduce it, we'll bake it out inside of Substance Painter to get this detail back. I think. Coffee, yes, coffee. Okay, I'll have coffee. There we go. Alright, so Helpwood says, if you're not sure what to work on for the portfolio, you could kit bash some of your ArchViz stuff for an underwater theme and play with the lighting. Yeah, well, that's true. I've not done an underwater scene, I don't think, ever, actually. Is that true? Let me think. I think I might have done one sort of underwater scene many, many years ago when I was back at uni. So a very long time ago. But generally, yeah, that would be probably the only one I've ever done. Oh, no, two. I've done two underwater scenes, but they were way back when I was at university. So, yeah, not for a very long time. Helpwood says would make a great painting for the game house as well. That's very true. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So I don't know if I need any more paintings in that building. Well, you never know. Downstairs in the basement, maybe. I could even put paintings in the attic. I don't think we put any paintings in the attic, did we? No, that could be something we could look at doing, actually, because there's a lot of wall space up in the attic. And there are no paintings up there. Yeah, but that's a great idea. Make It 3D says, what studio do you work for? Yeah, I don't mention the studios I work for by name. Well, the game studio you guys know is called Science Studio, so that's public knowledge on Steam. But the Archbit studio, I don't mention who they are. Not that I don't trust you guys. It's not you guys. It's because this goes to YouTube and goes up on my Twitch channel, and I get enough spam and crap as it is. I don't talk about who I work for, but I do work for the game studios called Science Studios, PSINE. Underwater scenes are tough, Make It 3D says. Hellforge says just cobwebs. There's the link. Hellforge popped into Twitch chat if you want to wishlist the game you see me working on right now. We're going to start with by centering the pivot on this piece of geometry. Just let me see why it's not centered like that. Center to object. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to throw a reset on the X form. So I'm going to reset the X form. Let me make sure I'm on the right model here. Yes, I'm on the right model. Good. So we're going to reset the X form. And center. Now, I'm just wondering why when I do a center, it's not actually centering it on the model. It should be centering it in here, and it's not doing that. So that generally tells me it's picking up something somewhere else. I'm just trying to find out what's causing that. It's a bit odd. I don't see anything else. Again, let's do a reset and double check. Yeah, you see, that's odd. How it's giving me... The box should be pretty much confined just to that part of the geometry, but it's extending it all the way out here, which generally happens when you've got geometry out here, but I don't see any geometry, so let me just double check. No, there is something out here. Ah, look at that. We have this, I don't know if you can see it, this piece of geometry here, which is not part of the model. It should not be there. So we're going to delete that. We're going to collapse the stack. We're going to reset the X form again, and that's better. Collapse the stack again. Center to object, and that's what we want. Much, much better. Sniper Girl says, I'm getting closer and closer to getting you to play that one game. Aren't you so excited? She wants me to play some pony riding game. Because you guys know you can redeem your viewer points for whatever you want. If you look at the request section, you can redeem viewer points for a whole range of different things. One of them is getting me to play a game, and one of them is getting me to play a game that's a viewer's choice. And she's chosen this horrid little, I shouldn't say that because I don't want to upset the developers of the game, but it's not my sort of game. Some pony riding game on Steam. It's free to play, so you know it's going to be good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Make It 3D says, damn, that's a good looking game. Oh, did you check out the game on Steam, Make It 3D? Hellforge says, there isn't a point redemption to draw me like that one of your payment. There isn't a point redemption to draw me like one of your French girls. Oh man. Yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about the game that I'm working on with the game studio Make It 3D, hopefully. But that's one of the selling points we have with the game, the fact that it's quite detailed. So, fully ray traced if you have a ray trace capable video card. If you don't, you can still play it. You can turn ray tracing on and off in the game. Although I do recommend ray tracing because it does look better. Also with a ray trace capable graphics card, you have DLSS, which is also really, really cool to use in a game. Okay, so we're going to duplicate this now, I think. Let me just find out how many polys this is. Okay, Max hasn't crashed. This is just, yeah, we don't want 534,000 polygons. That's a bit much. So we're going to duplicate this. We're going to call this one nouveau entry _ high. And we're going to I can never remember where it is because I don't usually use it from here. We're going to clone it and we're going to call this one low. But we're not going to do an instance, we want to copy. And let's do a poly reduction on the low. I'm just going to just select the low version. Polygon cruncher. Keep the textures. Merge the vertices. Do a calculate. And again, I'm going to reduce it, but as I reduce it over here, I'm looking at the model here to see what it's doing. I'm going to pull it back as much as I can, but without making sure we still keep enough detail in it. So it looks like we could probably go down to, let's try 8. 8's a bit low. Let's try 9. Just for safety, let's go to 10. I want to make sure I keep enough detail for the sculpture here in the wall. I don't, because if the player gets to the side, we don't want it to be completely flat. We still want a little bit of detail, geometric detail. We're going to be doing a bake out from the height to the low though, inside of Substance Painter. So yeah, so I want to make sure we keep enough detail here for the sculpture. Also for the wall here, because it's actually model geometry. Helpwood says, Phil, since you're a multimedia discipline artist, I saw something that I haven't a clue how useful it would be for you or anyone else in chat. Yeah, well, that's just it. I was trained as a multimedia artist, which incorporated 3D and video work and photography, and was a whole range of different things, web design. That's why I call myself a multimedia artist, because I don't just do 3D work. Because I come from a programming background as well, and web development, I'm sort of more of an overall multimedia person who specializes now in 3D, but yeah. And photogrammetry. But tell us, Helpwood says, what's this? Oh, Humble Bundle. What's this Humble Bundle? Let's have a look. That's my website, by the way, if you want to know more about me and what I do. 30 HUDs, that's always useful. Lightroom preset. I don't use Lightroom. I know a lot of people do. LUTs is really useful. More LUTs. Photo overlays. 3D text. Map packs. This looks like there's some good stuff in this bundle. Space Creator, comic graphic design, Christmas watercolors, book cover templates, Photoshop actions, brushes for Photoshop, fonts. Yeah, there looks like some more LUTs again. You never have too many LUTs. Lots of LUTs. Yeah, this looks pretty cool actually. Some stuff, like there's a lot of stuff in here I probably wouldn't use in my work, but it'd be nice to have it just in case, because you never know. Paper textures, logos. There you go, that's actually quite good and pretty good value actually. So what, you got to spend at least Australian $34.99. I don't know what that works out for you guys in the US. But for everything that's in this pack, that's pretty decent. I'll have to check this out more after the stream, I think, because there is some stuff in here that could be useful. Like I said, there's stuff in here as well I wouldn't use, but there's certainly stuff that I would. That would come in handy, particularly for that price. Mystery products. These Humble bundles you can get some really good stuff through Humble. Thanks for that, Helpwood. I will check that out after the stream. Helpwood says, got some UE stuff in that pack? Okay. Make It 3D says, LUTs are awesome. The lighting presets are nice. Yes, LUTs. We're using LUTs in the game as well. We're using a custom LUT for the House on the Hollow game in Unreal Engine. I use LUTs a lot for everything. So they always come in handy. You can never have too many LUTs. And there's quite a few in this pack, so. I use a program made by Red Giant as well, which is like a LUT pack. It's not actually LUTs, but it's sort of like LUTs. Which used to be for Photoshop, but it's not. What do they call it? Looks, I think they call it. Red Giant Looks. But now you can only use it in Premiere, unfortunately. So generally LUTs come in handy for a multitude of things. So I'll check that out after the stream. Andrew Dust says, I forgot Humble Bundle existed. Yeah, I forget about it sometimes too. I have bought stuff, other Humble Bundles in the past. So it's worth checking out. I think the last Humble Bundle I bought was a music pack. Sound effects, I think, from memory. And there were some really, really cool sounds in that pack that I purchased, and it was really cheap. So, and stuff you can use commercially as well, not just for your own personal projects, but commercial use. For cheap. And Make It 3D says there's some nice stuff in that bundle. Yep, there sure is. 22.17 in the EU. Android Lust says 25 USD. But for 25 bucks, that's excellent value with all of those LUTs and everything else in that pack. If you're going to make, if it's useful, I think it's great value. If it's useful to you, obviously, and what you want to do. But just for those LUTs alone, 25 bucks is worth it. Helpwood says, I posted it on Discord as well for anyone who wants to look for it afterwards. Thank you. Great idea. Thank you for doing that, Helpwood. So yeah, check out the bundle Hellforge posted in the Discord. And Make It 3D. What's it? Is this your art station, Make It 3D? I want to check it out. This is Make It 3D's art station. He posted it in the folios and demo reel section on the Discord server, so you guys check that out at your leisure, but we're going to check it out right now because I love looking at the work you guys do. So all of this is your work here. Hey, Make It 3D. Nice. Let's see. So this is game stuff, was it? Icons. Hang on. What am I looking at? Pre-production stage of icons. I got to work my long-time friend. New IP concept was rebuild part of the city from about the 18th century. And his part was to develop a set of modular architectural components that would let the designer build a reasonable approximation of the few blocks of the city. Okay, so the modular pieces here. Nice, I like that. Yeah, lovely. Again, I don't know the art style of the game. The modelling is beautiful. I love the way you've modelled this up. It looks really interesting. If I'm looking at this, my only critique would be maybe everything looks very clean. But again, I don't know the art style for the game, so it could be the style that you guys are going for in the game. Because the model is incredibly realistic, and just the brickwork looks a bit clean. First impressions, but again, might be the art style. So. Denver Stadium. Nice. Again, nice modelling work. Yeah, lovely modelling work. So we change of seasons here for the trees. Nice. Let me just catch up with the chat for a sec. Sniper Girl says, honestly, we'll likely get it just for the LUTs. Yeah, I think just for the LUTs alone it's worth 25 bucks. Elfwood says, all my Warhammer 40k audio and ebooks are all from Humble Bundle. The current 40k bundle they got, I already have everything in. And yes, this is Make It 3D's art station. Make It 3D says, Icons is a pre-production stage game. The clean style was because it was designed to accommodate a grant criteria. Okay. So there was a reason for that. Alfred says, how much freedom can you fit in that stadium? Make It 3D says about 20 cents. So quite a few stadiums here actually, and more stadium work. You've done a lot of stadium work. Wow. I'm interested. This looks really interesting actually. I want to check this out. Relatively complete. It's just a personal project, this one, I think. Disparities, what Make It 3D is calling it. So the description you have here, the image tells the story of different sides of the groups that we currently see standing precariously on our world stage. It's always good to use artwork to make a political statement, or to make any sort of statement. I like the lighting in this. That's what caught my eye. Nice ships, modelling again, beautifully done. Texturing is nice as well. This would be cool to turn into to bring into the Unreal Engine and make into an environment that you can walk around in. Very nice. And I do. The lighting in the first image particularly really caught my eye. I really like this. Nicely rendered. We got the holograms over here. Yep. Again, beautiful work. I won't go through every one because you've got so much work here. I'll just look at the ones that sort of like stand out. This is I'm drawn to this because I work for an ArchViz studio who specialize in I specialize in photogrammetry for the ArchViz studio. And the ArchViz studio specializes in keeping historical building facades and then putting like modern extensions on the back. So my job is generally to do photogrammetry on the period pieces of the building. And the Art Nouveau building for the game is period as well. That's why I like working on it. So this caught my eye. I love the chandelier and the woodwork. I love wood paneling on walls. I love it. This is really nice. I like this. Yeah, really nice. It's very similar to actually what I have paneling similar to this in the game in Barrett's study, and actually it might be Barrett's bedroom. I think these sort of like arched wood panelled pieces. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. Yeah, really nice. Again, this would make brought into the Unreal Engine would be really cool. Art by Design competition. Urban and Out Human 3D Survival Car contest entry. Yeah, lovely. Actually, lovely model, nice texturing as well. Love it. Love it. Yeah, really nice. Breakdown. Lovely modeling work. I love this image too. It looks really cool. Nice use of color as well. Like the red and the blue really help to make it pop. A breakdown of the pieces for the car. Yeah, look, beautiful work here. Beautiful, beautiful work. Again, I'm just going to go through really quickly. There's a lot of really, really cool stuff here. You guys should check out this ArtStation and make it 3Ds at your leisure. It's interesting as well. Nice texturing. Yeah, I like the lighting in this one too. And your modeling work is really beautiful. As well as your texturing, but particularly the detail you put into your modeling is really impressive. Lovely, lovely, lovely work. Make It 3D says the stadiums are for the Access football game. I'm actually in the process of rebuilding it in Unreal. Oh, cool. I'd love to see it in Unreal. That'd be super awesome. Make sure you, if you do, once you've brought it into the engine, and update your ArtStation with it, or pop images in our gallery on the Discord, because I'd love to see it in Unreal. Make a cinematic out of it, as Android Lust says. Yeah, I agree. A cinematic would be really cool. Make It 3D said, I did ArchViz for years in the early days of the job title. I enjoy the ArchViz because, again, I specialize more in photogrammetry for the ArchViz studio. I'm not an architect. We have architects that work there. My job is more photogrammetry related, because a big part, what the ArchViz studio specializes in, like I said, is adding modern extensions to period buildings. And you know, with a period building, you have to be very careful about what work you can do to it. And a lot of times what they get away with doing is keeping the facade of the period building and gutting the interior. So that's generally what the ArchViz studio I work for do. They build modern extensions to the back of period buildings. So I do the photogrammetry to recreate the period building in 3D, and then the architects can create the extension to the back of it, and then I can do renders with the period building and the modern extension sort of combined. That's part of it. They also do a lot of work for mining companies, so yeah, photogrammetry there as well. As the guys will tell you, they often send me to the middle of Australia where it's like 55 degrees Celsius and for a week, because you guys know how much I hate the heat, to some mining company in the middle of nowhere. That's always fun for me. Healthwood says the shantytown vibe on one side of the high-tech skyscrapers on the other looks similar to stuff I've seen on some of the architecture subreddits. Mega 3D says the urban and out was a failure, poor scene layout for the final image. Healthwood just popped a link to Reddit, which is called Urban Hell. Let's check it out. I warned you guys, this is going to be a part work, part chat stream. So I'm sorry, YouTube. I know you guys at YouTube hate it when I talk too much. Okay, this is a Reddit for urban images. Cool. Thank you. If you want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord, show off your work in the gallery, click that link. Healthwood has popped into Twitch chat. Android Lutz says to make it 3D, I entered that human 3D contest too. I remember seeing yours. It's been 4 years. Make it 3D says, yeah, 4 years seems like yesterday. Time flies by. Well, I warned you. I said yesterday, I can't believe we're at the end of the year. Like in 2 weeks' time, it's Christmas. So 2 or 3 weeks. Where's the year gone? Every year it gets faster and faster. Maybe because I get older and older, but I swear to God, every year it just seems to fly by. I can't believe a whole year has gone by. Maybe it's because the human malware's messed with my mind. I don't know, but just I can't believe a whole year's gone. Mega 3D says, thank you for the kind word. Well, beautiful work. I'm only complimenting you because you've done lovely work. So it's all down to you and your talent. 3D is truly the only thing that I've done in my 52 years that is satisfying. Well, you guys know I used to be a chef, so I've sort of like come to 3D from a very, very strange roundabout way. I did my apprenticeship as a chef when I was younger, straight out of school, which took 4 years. 4 years of my life I'll never get back. And I worked in restaurants I did the chefing thing for probably, I don't know how long, let's say 5-6 years maybe, after I'd finished my qualification. And I hated it. I hated it. Stuck in a hot kitchen, particularly if you live in Australia where it's really hot anyway. So stuck in a hot kitchen on a hot day with the smell of food all the time. No, did not like it. And the hours are terrible. Like I'd start work at about 10 in the morning to prep for a lunch at the restaurant. Then you get a break for about an hour or two in the afternoon, and then I'd have to be back by 5 to prep for dinner for the restaurant. And because part of what I did as a chef was I specialised in Italian food and desserts, so I used to have to stick around till the very end, till like 2 in the morning, because you know you have dessert after you have your main meal, usually. So yeah, there were long days, hot kitchens, constant smell of food. So I left that and then went to do web design and development, which I did for a few years, and I still do some of occasionally, like because I do contract work as well. So yeah, I did that for a few years, web design and development, and then after that I moved into 3D, and then I've been in 3D now for about 15 years. And I can't imagine doing anything else. I love 3D, so it did take me a while to find out what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be as well. So if you youngins out there, if you're not sure about what you want to do in life, then don't stress about it. Try a few different things and see what you like. That was always my attitude when I was younger. So. Helpwood says at least they're minding their own business. Oh, Helpwood. Oh man, Smurfery says oldness intensifies. Helpwood says considering all the stuff that's happened in the past 2 years, it's understandable. That's true. Have a save and a copy. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a save and have a copy. There's just something about this model that's annoying me. That's not quite right. So I want to jump out of that for a minute and look at this one. I'm going to isolate that. Okay. Okay, I thought that was what was going on. Looks like the column here is missing a face at the back. Now that's not an issue, simply because the column is actually leaning up against a wall. So the fact that it's missing a poly is not the end of the world. The only thing that would concern me is perhaps when you bring a model into the Unreal Engine, if it's not a completely sealed model, you run the risk of light leaking inside of the model. So you'll get some weird looking lighting effect happening possibly on the model if it's not completely closed. And that's as this one isn't. But that column is sort of sunken into the wall, as you can see here. So that will prevent any light leaking in there anyway. Now we could add a face to it, but there's no need. That's going to prevent any light leakage. But that does mean it looks to me like we have some pieces left behind here. So let's go back to these two pieces here and isolate. The low poly and isolate. So these pieces here, they were part of the original column that were inside the wall. Again, when it was made for rendering, so I really wasn't too concerned about that. But a game model, we don't want that. It's wasting polygons that are never seen. So I'm going to collapse the crunched version here. Go back to an edit poly. And I'm going to remove these because we don't need them. The same with the back face here, which is from the column there. So I'm just doing a bit of cleanup work, basically. Same on this side. Getting rid of these polygons that are floating. If you're finding it hard to see these floating polygons, you can go into vertex mode. That helps sometimes to actually spot them. So here, you see how I've got these floating polygons in the middle of the model? Whereas if I'm in face mode or polygon mode, you can't see them, but if you go into vertex mode, they pop up quite easily. So yeah, I'm just cleaning up a couple of errant polygons here and there. Okay, let's get rid of the ones on this side. Yeah, I think we should be good. I don't see anything else floating around that shouldn't be there. Oh, tell a lie, there looks like there might be a couple just over here. Now we should be good. Okay, it's the low res model that we're bringing into the game. So we want the low and the high. It's the high res one. Again, I'm just going to get rid of a couple of pieces here that it really doesn't matter with the high res model, but we may as well clean it up while we're here. Because why not? Mega 3D says, I left a house, land, cars and money to pursue 3D art. I'm broke, but much happier. That's always been my philosophy in life as well. Because I've seen it too many times where people decide a career but to make the most money that they possibly can, and they end up miserable. And that's not living, in my opinion. Just because you've got money doesn't make you happy. It will never make you happy. And because whatever you do for a living, you spend so much time doing it. It's really important to do something that makes you happy, that you enjoy. Otherwise, it's just a chore. And again, I know it's easier said than done. I've mentioned it before on stream. Sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we've just got to live. So we have to get a job that'll help us live. But if you can, try and do something you enjoy doing. You spend a lot of time of your waking hours doing it, working that is, to live. So it's really important, if you can, to enjoy what you are doing. And picking a job just for the most money is never going to make you happy. It's never made anyone that I know happy. Never. No, not one of them. Never. So yeah, I was the same. Although I never chose my job for what it would pay. I chose my jobs based on what I thought I enjoyed, or what I thought I would enjoy, like the chefing thing. And I still enjoy cooking. I like cooking for friends and family and stuff, but I just don't like doing it professionally in a restaurant environment anymore. And yeah, like I said, I know you guys, a lot of you guys are much younger than me. If it takes you a while to work out what it is you actually like to do, then that's cool. You've got plenty of time. Try a few different things. You never know what you're going to like. With 3D, you should be doing 3D. If you're watching me, it's the whole reason I'm on Twitch. You should be doing 3D. Helpwood says, seems like professional kitchens are hell to be at. Dated a chef for a while years ago, and that was very much the impression I got as well. Well, most of them are alcoholics, unfortunately. Or they have other addictions. I don't think I've only ever met like a few chefs that were not alcoholics. Because of the hours. They're terrible hours that you've got to keep, and yeah. And you're surrounded by alcohol usually when you work in a restaurant as well, because most restaurants have bars. So the temptation is always there for a lot of chefs to drink. So what surprised me when I started doing my apprenticeship as a chef was just how many of them are alcoholics. It was quite incredible. Let's see. Sorry, I think I missed Android Lust there. Android Lust says, my first job was at a non-fast food chain restaurant. I hated it so much I would never want to work anywhere near a kitchen. Yeah. Sometimes, but like I said, sometimes we have no choice. We've just got to take the work we can get when we can get it, regardless of what it is. I mean, there have been times in my life where I've had to do that before I got into doing 3D, which I've been doing forever now. Between like being a chef and then going into do web design and development while I was at university, there were jobs that, like, I used to work in retail, so like a shop selling things. You guys know I used to work for the Museum of the Science, and they call it Science Works here, Science and Technology Museum. I used to work there managing their gift store. So I've done a few different things in my life. So I was like a manager, a buyer for the Government Science and Technology Museum for a while. Healthwood says, isn't there a quick command to select all non-manifold geometry? I don't believe there is in Max. There's an invert command, but no, there is no non-manifold geometry that I'm aware of. Healthwood says, or whatever it's called when it's just floating around in nothingness. No, there isn't that I'm aware of. Make It 3D says, yeah, there's an X view that helps. X view. I usually find going into vertex mode, I can find anything that's floating without too much of an issue. Healthwood says, sage advice right here. Make It 3D says, money just makes it easier to exist. What's this image you posted here, Healthwood? Let me have a look. Again, my YouTube viewers, fast forward through these bits if you're really bored hearing me talk or looking at different links that people are posting. I'm not lazy, even God uses texture maps. That is good. That is very good, Healthwood. Healthwood says, there's a night and day difference between living and existing. I'm currently existing in the current situation, but I'm not happy with it, with most of it. Sometimes we, then take steps to fix it. I know you probably are, and you are, because you're doing your 3D stuff. Everything, unfortunately, takes time. Andrew Luss says, no 3D, no life. That's right. You actually Make It 3D. You should check out some of Android Lust's work that he's posted in the Discord gallery, because he does character work. And he does beautiful, beautiful character work as well. Make It 3D says, I started my digital career at age 47. So yeah, I have plenty of time to get started. Just get started. Healthwood says, aren't all creative people addicted to the bean juice? No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it depends. If you work for a game studio, a lot of them do. They like to go out and drink. Because a lot of them are like young guys in their 20s. And you know what young guys in their 20s are like? They like to drink. So but I wouldn't call them alcoholic or anything. But yeah, game studios. Film, yeah, if you're working for film, then they like to drink as well. Archviz, occasionally, but not like games. Games I found the worst for people wanting to go out and booze it up. Apart from chefing, and they are alcoholics, a lot of chefs, unfortunately. Not all of them, I'm not tarring every chef with the same brush, but all the ones I've worked with, most of them were alcoholic. Like the head chefs, the sous chef, they were all alcoholic. Andrew Luss says, never too late for 3D, but I wish I'd started earlier. No, it is never too late for 3D. You can always learn to do 3D. For sure. I've said to you guys before, the hardest part about really doing 3D is getting used to the interface of the software. Once you're used to that, then most of the battle's already won once you've learned the interface. And then you can learn other 3D programs because they're all pretty much the same. They all work on vertices and polygons and all that jazz. Okay, so we have our high and our low. So that's the high, that's the low. I'm just flipping between them to make sure our pivot point is exactly centered because we want to do a bake out. So let's do a quick save. This is the last piece of geometry we need to optimize for the game. So first things first, I think, is we want to probably bake the texture map out, I think. Yeah. Because I have a feeling this uses 2 or 3 different texture maps, so let's make sure we're on the low version. Again, let's go into isolation mode. Throw an unwrap UVW down. map channel 2 and move. Let's see what the UVs are like here. Yeah, we have overlapping UVs because it's using multiple textures. So let's repack this. Just for safety, I'm going to make a duplicate because I don't, just in case we muck something up. It's always good to have a copy. Oh, but we're going to work with the original one here. So we want to bake the texture. Map channel 2, and we're going to call this NOUVEAU, Nouveau Main Center. So I'm going to do a bake out of the texture map first, and then we're going to go into Substance Painter and we're going to do a bake from a high to a low poly. So let's bake that out. Because I want to bring the texture map into Substance Painter as a fill layer. Get it? Fill layer? Fill? Fill lights, fill layers. I told you guys I was born to do 3D. Helpwood, Make It 3D says, agrees with Android last. Make It 3D... sorry, Helpwood says, I really wish I started 3D earlier as well. I started at 28. Oh, a whole of 28, Helpwood. Wow. Android Lost says, I first downloaded Blender at like 21, but didn't bother to try to learn it then. Dumb me. Well, you know, I first started playing around with 3D when I was like 16. I mean, not seriously doing it for a job, but just because it interested me. They were back in the days where 3D art were chrome balls on a checkered floor. Do you remember that? Yeah, so yeah, chrome balls on a checkered floor. I'm back in that era. That's when I started messing around with 3D as a teenager, just for fun. Okay, now we're going to bring that texture map in and check to make sure it's high resolution enough. And it will be Nouveau Center. So yes, Snappy Girl, before you jump in, yes, I am that old. And let's change the channel info. Oh, damn it. Not what I wanted. Channel info. There we go. Let's copy channel 2 into channel 1. And something went wrong. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Oh, let's get rid of that export. Let's try that again. Channel info. Before we do that, let's assign the material again to the model. Channel info. Something's not right here. It doesn't look quite right. Yeah, something not right. What has Phil done wrong? Unwrap. Channel 2. Am I using the wrong texture map maybe? Let's have a look. Nouveau Center. No, that's the right texture map. That is the right texture map. Map channel 2. Is that right? Right, 2. Although the bakeout does not look quite the same. Let's try that again, shall we? We're going to render baked texture, padding, UV channel 2, that's correct. Nouveau main center. Oh no, I'm loading up the wrong texture map. That's why. Duh. Let's fix that. So we don't want this one. We want Nouveau main center. We want this one. So let's assign the material and copy our UVs. There we go. Much better. We still have the detail, which is good. So we should be good. So I don't need this one now. Okay. Hang on. What's this one? It's the low. The high. Why did it move? Let me just get these lined up again. Looks like I moved the low res by mistake, so we're just going to make sure that it's exactly in the same spot as the other one. Hang on, that's interesting. Why? Oh, the pivot. That's bizarre. Let's fix this. Send it to object. Send it to object. It's because we deleted those polygons that caused the pivot to move. Okay, so that's correct. That's correct. I'm going to copy the Y value onto the low poly version so they line up. Good. Okay. Now we can actually remove that, and we can remove that. Let's do a save. I'll have a copy, and then we can look at baking out in Substance Painter. What are we talking about here? Andrew Luss has started using it at 21 Blender, but also that Blender was way older version. Looked alien to me. Helpwood says bean juice equals copy. Oh, okay. Bean juice, of course. Coffee beans. Give bean juice, please. Mercury says. Helpwood says, as a former 20-some young guy, I don't drink nearly as much as you'd imagine. Something about living that a bit sad life of mine. It's good you don't drink too much. Drinking alcohol is not good for your body. Well, too much of it anyway. You guys know I don't drink alcohol anymore. Well, except for Christmas, New Year, and another cup. And occasionally I'll go out for a drink with people, but I don't drink alcohol every night, or even every week, or even every month. I don't like the hangover you get from alcohol. Hellford says, that was a great roast though. I seriously needed that chuckle last week. Had a pretty rough job interview that didn't go as well as I'd hoped, so having something to laugh at was great. Android Lost says, don't let the rough ones discourage you. No, don't. Easier said than done, but yeah. Yeah, look, I know. I've been for interviews where, I haven't got the job. Everyone goes through that. And it's easy to feel as if it's your fault, but it's not. It just means that, unfortunately, maybe they just found someone that was a better fit for exactly what they wanted. So yeah, never try and never be discouraged if you don't get a job or a job interview goes bad. It happens to us all. And it's not anything that you've done wrong. It's just like I said, that they've found someone else that's a better fit for exactly what they want. Not they didn't like you, it's not you weren't capable of doing the job or anything like that. It's generally just they found someone maybe who used to do exactly what they wanted previously. So they hire them. You just got to keep ploughing through and ploughing on. Smurf says, oof. Helpwood says, I'm trying not to, just have to accept that it's all part of learning and remembering what I did wrong so I don't make the same mistake next time. Helpwood says she's probably taking a bath. The girl says, I didn't need to say anything, you said it for me. To me. Mega 3D says, yes, I was 15 when I dabbled in computer graphics. It was an Apple IIe and you had to type in the coordinates for each vertex. 3D wasn't really a thing yet. I loved it, Mega 3D says. Helpwood says, Stone Age 3D, that's awesome. Android Lust says, typing coordinates for each vertex sounds painful. Helpwood says, it's always so interesting to hear about how it was in the old days, because I've only ever known how it is now. Even something like texturing in Photoshop for games is something I can't wrap my head around. As I grew up in the Substance Painter PBR era, I still use Photoshop to do some texturing work. You guys have seen me use it on stream for some of the models we've worked on for the game. Photoshop still has its place, or any paint program still has its place in texturing 3D. But using Substance Painter is so much easier, I have to admit. Or Mari, because you guys know I use Mari as well, by the Foundry. Both good programs for texture painting. Android Lost says to Hellforge, when I was in school, we used Photoshop to texture. The school didn't have Substance Painter at the time. I don't think Substance Painter had an educational version of it. I don't know if there's any one for it now. I think there is an educational version of Painter. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is now, particularly now that Adobe have bought it. Android Lust says, and this was in 2016 or 17. Smurf says, Crazy Bump was the hot new thing when I was in school. I remember Crazy Bump. It was a good program, actually, Crazy Bump. Doing your normal maths, yep. Smurf says, I don't think it was part of the curriculum, though. Android Lust says, that one thing I use. Smurf says, of course, our courses started with Maya 7. Wow. Coffee and save. Yes, let's do a save and have a coffee in there. Why not? Make It 3D says, Digital Art has taken an amazing turn in the last few years. Each new software update is so damned exciting. It is. You guys are spoiled for choice nowadays. And you young whippersnappers, compared to when I first started doing 3D, it's much, much easier for you guys now. And for all of us, because we all still do 3D. But Photoshop or a 3D paint program still has its place for texturing. It's just because we've got Substance Painter and Substance Designer and Mari and all these other programs that you can paint in 3D on. There's even Marmoset, I think you can do that in Marmoset too. But no excuse. Using a paint program still comes in really handy. And I still do texture painting in Photoshop to this day, even with Mari and Substance Painter and everything. Make It 3D says to Hellforge, that's awesome. Hellforge says, you did it yesterday in Photoshop. Yeah, I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. I did a sharpen, didn't I? Yeah. So yeah, I did it yesterday. Android Lust says to Smurf, we had Maya Max 2014 installed on the lab's computers. I was using 2016 at home. I hated Maya 2014. Smurf says 2014 was a buzz. Okay, let's export the high version here. So Nuvo entry high. We're only doing this so we can do a bake out in Painter. We're going to send it to the right folder. Or we can put, actually I'll create a new folder called exports, just to keep everything nice and organized. And this is going to be Nuvo entry high. And we're going to export the low, so export selected. Let me copy the name, it's easier than me typing it again. Let's export the low. And let's jump into Substance Painter and create a new project. We're going to select the low version. Compute tangent space. We've turned off UV tile workflow because we've already UV mapped it. Okay. Okay, so the low poly version again, you see I've kept enough geometry so that the silhouette is still there. We didn't make it completely flat because if the player walks around, you still want a bit of geometry for the silhouette. The same here with the detailing on the columns. We want to bake meshes. We're going to go at 4K. We're going to load up the high-res version. Anything I want to change? No, I don't believe there is. High-res, won't change the cage. Bake. Again, I know you guys like to use Marmoset for your bakeouts, and I do have a Marmoset installed. I'm just doing this in Painter because I've done everything else in Painter, so why not? So yeah, we've baked out the high poly down to the low poly. We're just going to add a fill layer. I'm going to import, if I can remember where they moved all the buttons to. Every time they update this software, they always move stuff around. I can't remember where they put the button. Open current query in a new tab, no. Import resources, here we go. We're going to bring in the texture map, so Nuvo entry textures, and we want the Nuvo main center. And we're going to send it to the texture folder, and it's going to be for the current session. And we're going to throw that down on the base color. I might just pull back on the metallic, I think. Maybe the roughness. Yeah, we're going to pull back on the roughness. We don't want it shiny like that, because it's like a stone, so it won't be shiny. We could actually add a dirt layer if we wanted to. Let's see what that looks like. Now that we've got it inside of Substance Painter, why not? We'll go into our smart materials. And we'll do a search for dirt. Let's see here. Let's have a look at this dirt layer. That's not bad, but let's knock it right back. So let's pull it back. So we'll just pull in a little bit of dirt just to darken it up a bit. Might just play with the masks a little bit. This mask here I want to change. The grunge. I'm just pulling back on the grunge a little bit. That should be fine. Let's just save this as, just in case we ever want to come back and make any changes. We're going to call it Nuvo Center. UA Center, I'll just call it main. Let's export the textures. Into the textures folder. That's fine, but before I do that export, I actually want to rename this material. I'm going to call it Nuvo Center Main Baked. Actually, I'm just going to change that. It's getting a bit long. I just got to be careful with how long texture names are, because you never know with the Unreal Engine. Keeping them shorter is always better. So we'll call it Nuvo Main Baked. To do that again. Select. I'm using a PBR template. Export. And we'll do a quick save. Now what are we talking about? Mega 3D says 3D Studio 4 for DOS. God, I feel old now. Yeah, I remember 3D Studio. When I first started using 3D Studio Max, it wasn't called Max, it was just called 3D Studio. I'm right up there with you. I remember 3D Studio. I feel old too. Smurf says Gmax. Gmax, well, I remember Gmax. Android Lust says, I think I specifically hated UV unwrapping in 2014 and I like doing UVs. Yeah, I think Android Lust is one of those strange people that likes actually UV mapping. I hate it. I hate it. Smurf says Wings 3D. Wow. Android Lust says I also use Lightwave 3D for a little bit. Make It 3D says Wings 3D is still cool software. Smurf says 2014 was extra crashy. Alfwood says Vertex ID if you're using it. Yeah, no, I'm not using, but I'm not doing the Vertex thing on this model. Thanks for the reminder, Hellforge, but yeah, no, we're not doing Vertex coloring on this particular piece. Android Lust says, I know I couldn't use an MB file from 2016 to 2014. Made me feel stupid when I got to class and couldn't pick up where I left off at home. It's usually the case. If you're using a newer version of the software, it won't load into an older version of the software. Sniper Girl says, how dare you not bake in Marmoset? Yes, I know. And I've installed Marmoset. I should have probably loaded it up in Marmoset, but I knew I wanted to add a dirt layer to it, so it was just easier for me to do it in Substance Painter. Okay, so we've saved that out. Let's close that down. Back into Max. We've got the low version selected, so let's move it over. There we go. I'm just going to load in the new texture map we just created for that dirt layer. So it will be Nouveau entry, is that right? No, that's not the one. Hang on. Yes, Nouveau entry, Nouveau entry main. That's the one. We have our dirt added to it. I don't think we've got anything left to do now. I think we've basically copied over and reduced everything we needed to reduce. We've got the statues. We're going to be duplicating that. We're going to be duplicating that. We're going to be duplicating her. We're going to be duplicating that and that. And duplicating the door. So I don't think there's anything left. I think we've actually finished optimizing the Nouveau entry, which is good. Let's do a quick save. I actually like your idea of growing ivy on the doors, Hellforge. I think it might be my original idea was to put glass in there, like a stained glass, which still could look good, like multicolored stained glass. But growing ivy could be cool as well, because this is going to be just inside the gates, the main gates we were working on, which are covered in ivy. So having ivy growing on it could be a good way to block the seeing the landscape when we're doing the transition, the level streaming. Yeah, I don't know. We can try it and we can see whether it's going to look good or not. It would suit the model, like it would suit the area the model's going in. Like everything's overgrown and old, and because the car will be sitting just out here, and you know how we made that really, really old and wrecked because it's been sitting out there for like 50 years, rusted, all that sort of stuff, covered in leaves. So having ivy growing on the doors would suit it. It would look good. We might even do both. We might even add some glass and do some ivy. Why not? Let me catch up with the chat. Make It 3D says beer. Damn. So yeah, I think we're finished doing the optimization here. We do still have to work out whether the glass and grow the ivy. And what's going to happen here is we're going to have like, this is going to be duplicated. So let's look at it in the top viewport. So we're going to have one down this end. I'm going to grab another one. I'm just doing this temporarily to show you what's going on. That's going to be on the other end of like a hall section, or a walkway, or a covered walkway. So between these two sections, we're going to have a section that's completely enclosed that the player walks through. And I think along the top of it, I want it to be arched, and I want windows at the top. But I don't want the player to be able to see, like, I may put windows along the side walls as well, but not windows the player can see out of. Because again, I can't have landscapes popping in and out in player view. And I'm thinking about making the walkway that joins these two entryways have like garden beds in it with plants in there. So it's sort of like similar to the way the actual thing here is set up. So having like plant beds in there that have overgrown plants because no one's maintained them for like 50, 60, 100 years, that joins these two pieces together in the walkway with like I said, with like windows along the top of an arched ceiling, and windows through the sides that maybe are really, really dirty so you can't see out through them. So they're glass windows that are just filthy, and yeah, so you can't see out. And then garden beds that run along the walkway between the two, and maybe even a fountain in the very middle that won't be operating, so there won't be water coming from it, but maybe a fountain in the center. That's sort of like what I'm thinking at the moment. But I guess we can tackle that when I come back from break. So I'm just going to make sure that I do another save here and get it all lined up, because I get my OCD here. But we've optimized the main entryway, which is what we wanted. That was the objective for today, was to finish doing the optimization. So we did that. So that's good. Snappy Girl says, coming up on the end of the stream. Yep. Happy Christmas and Merry New Year. Yes, Happy Christmas and Merry New Year to all of you. Alford says, nothing stopping you from trying both and seeing which one looks best. Worst case, you build a studio for an extra hour. Alford says, and the green would be a nice complement to the gold and the yellow. I agree. I think what we'll end up doing, my only concern with growing the ivy to block the view is we'd have to grow a lot of ivy to cover everything, because we can't even have the player seeing through a little bit to see the landscape pop in and out. But what we can do is we can put like stained glass in the doorway, and we can grow some ivy on it, so we can have the best of both worlds. But we'll tackle that when I come back from break. To a better new year, Android Lust says. Cheers to a better new year. And coffee. Android Lust says, wait, I just noticed the way you said that, Sniper Girl. That sounds like a good idea. Yeah, we'll do both. I think both would be good. Sniper Echo, you're popping in right at the end of my very last stream for 2021. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope you're well. I'm glad you popped in just before I'm about to sign off, so I could wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. No problem, Sniper Echo. It's great to see you. I hope you're well. I hope everything's going good. Happy festivities, yes. Well, I think I'm going to sign off for 2021, guys. It's been a great year. I've loved hanging out with you guys for this 2021 year. Hey, Sniper Echo. Yeah, it's been a great year. It's just flown by. I can't believe that 2021 is come and gone. Christmas in 2 or 3 weeks' time. What happened to the year? I'm glad that things are maybe finally starting to get back to a bit of normality in the world with the human malware. I'm glad that I'm going to be able to go and see my sister and my brother after 2 years. So I'm looking forward to that. But I do want to thank you guys though for being here and hanging out on my last stream for 2021. I'm going to be back on January 24, 2022. So I'm taking about 6 weeks off. Again, a bit longer than I normally would, but Phil needs the break. So yeah, I'm returning on the 24th of January. I will post when I come back to my Twitter account at PhilDoes3D, and also on the Discord server, just to remind you guys, because I know 6 weeks is a long time and I don't want you to forget about me. But I hope you guys and girls have a happy, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Don't eat too much on Christmas Day. Don't go into a food coma. You're quite welcome, and yes, welcome Make It 3D. It's great to have you as one of the viewers. I'm glad you joined the Discord server, and thanks for posting that link to your ArtStation too and letting us check it out. And you do some beautiful work. You're quite welcome, Hellforge. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me for the year. Merry Christmas. Make sure you guys stay happy, healthy and safe over the Christmas New Year period. Don't drink too much on New Year's Eve. And I will see you all again on January 24th, 2022. You guys have a great holiday, and yeah, I'll see you next year. See you guys. That's the one I want.